The medical trader. Discipline creates freedom. I'm Barry, the medical trader. In this episode, we're going to talk about puts, buying puts, selling cash secured puts, and using protective puts as insurance on shares you already own. We'll keep it calm and practical, and I'll show you a live example inside Robinhood. What you'll learn today? Here's what we're going to cover today. First, what a put option is in plain English. Then we'll look at buying puts as a defined risk bearish trade. We'll talk about selling cash secured puts as a way to get paid while you wait to possibly buy shares. We'll touch on protective puts as insurance for stocks you already own. And then we'll do a live walkthrough of opening and closing a put in Robinhood. What is a put? In plain English, a put option is a contract that goes up in value when the stock goes down. You can be on either side of the contract. You can buy puts or you can sell puts. Today we'll stay focused on simple, calm ways to use puts with defined risk, not anything wild or aggressive. Buying puts. Buying put is a defined risk bearish trade. When you buy a put, you pay a premium up front, and that's your maximum loss. If the stock drops, your put can go up in value. If the stock doesn't drop enough by expiration, the put can go all the way to zero. I treat the entire premium as money I can afford to lose. Selling cash secured puts. Selling cash secured put is one of my favorite ways to use puts. When you sell a put with cash behind it, you collect premium up front. In return, you're agreeing to buy 100 shares at the strike price if the stock closes below it at expiration. If I'm going to sell a cash secured put, it's only at a price I would be truly happy to own the shares and make sure I have the cash to back it up. Protective puts. A protective put is basically insurance for shares you already own. If I own 100 shares and I'm worried about a downside for a while, I can buy a put below the current price. If the stock price drops, that put can help offset part of the loss. I don't use this all the time, but it's a tool that can fit into a calm, risk-aware plan. Now let's walk through this calmly inside Robinhood. I'm going to start from the home button or safety button, bring up the option chain, and show you how to buy a put and close it, how to sell a cash secured put, and where a protective put would live if you already owned shares. You don't have to trade along with me, just watch the path I take. Calmly, step by step inside Robinhood. So you can see we're on our home page. We're going to start with buying a put. And buying a put, our thesis is the price is going down on the stock. That's how we will make our profit. So we're going to pick any random stock. I'm on my watch list. I'm going to use SPY because I know there's always a lot of volume on SPY. So here we are on SPY. Luckily it's in a downtrend. That helps us because I'm buying the put. We're going to come over to the SPY options, bring up the option chain. Here's those confusing numbers again. First thing we want to do is check expiration. So I'm going to buy one that expires tomorrow. Here is our expiration. SPY has daily calls. Most have weekly, but SPY has daily. So we're going to pick one day out, December 9th. And then the second thing is we got to make sure these are correct. So we're buying a put and it's now on call. So we're going to switch it to put. There we go. And we're going to buy a put. And then we're going to buy an out of the money put because this is just a demonstration and I don't want to spend a lot of money on this. And don't copy any of these trades. This is just for demonstration. So we're going to go down on the option chain. We'll pick this 675. First step is to open the chain and make sure there's volume because I want to make sure this gets filled. because then I'm going to show you how to close it. And there's plenty of volume. So this is how many contracts are being traded today. And this is how many are available or open. And then we have our bid and ask, and it couldn't be tighter. So this is perfect. We're going to close this. We're going to choose this. It's going to cost us $23. We're going to come to our order ticket. It's a long put, meaning you're buying it. 675 is the strike we chose. The expiration is 12/9. It's a buy, and this is what it's going to cost us. And then here is our chart showing the profit and loss. So with a put, we want SPY to go down, and you can see we would need it to go down quite a bit before we would start to make the profit. But this is just for demonstration only. So we're going to continue. Everything looks fine. I'm buying one put. The price is going to be $24. We're going to review the order. Everything's correct. And then I'm going to submit the order. We could go back if we wanted to change something, but everything's correct. I'm going to submit. It's been placed, and it looks like it's been accepted. So we're going to click Done. And then we're going to see where that put lives. We're going to go back to our home page. And here is our put right here. This is where it lives. So we can open it up. We can see our progress. We paid $27 for it. It's now worth $28. So we actually made a profit. And this is showing when it's going to expire. This is showing the break-even price. You bought one contract. That's where the little plus sign is. If you're selling the contract, it'll be a minus sign. So let's go back to our home page. Just pretend like we're scrolling around, and now we want to close this contract. So we're going to go back, click on this, and here is the ticket page where we're going to close. So when we bought this contract, it was buy to open. Now we're going to sell to close. One contract, we're going to make a profit, 1 penny. We're going to review the order, and everything looks correct. One contract, I might break even. We're going to submit. Done, and it was sold. So we can go back to our home page, the safety button, and you can see it is gone. We have opened a contract and closed a contract, and that was buying a put. And that is a bearish scenario. You would think the stock is going down. Now we're going to do the complete opposite. We're going to sell a put. So we're back on our home page. We're going to choose a different stock this time. We'll take SoFi. Let everything come up. Bring up the option chain. Now selling puts or running the wheel, that's my favorite strategy. But when I do it on stocks only that I want to own. So in case I get assigned when you sell a put, there's a possibility those shares may be assigned to you, and I make sure it's on a company I don't mind holding forever if I have to. So the first thing we're going to do is check the expiration date, and I like 30 days out. So we're going to look here. The days are in parentheses, makes it easy. We'll take the January 9th, 32 days out. Second thing we're going to do, make sure these are set correctly, which they're not now. So we're going to put sell, put. Then here is our at the money line, and the thesis for this is I want to buy these shares. I don't want to pay $27. I'd rather pay $24. I think that's more of a fair price, and I want to get paid while I'm waiting to get that fair price. So that's where this $61 will be. We'll actually get paid for that. So the other thing is you need to have the collateral, meaning if you're going to sell this put, you need to have the $2,400 to be able to buy this share, or Robinhood won't let you sell the put. So we're going to open up and make sure all these statistics look good for us for selling a put. First thing we're going to check is the volume. You can see the volume is good. It's 363, which means that's how many are being sold today. And then the open interest are how many exist. Then we're going to check the bid, the ask, make sure it's tight. It's about 5 cents off. And when we sell it, we'll go kind of like in the middle, and you can see this is kind of in the middle. So we're going to close this up, and we decided we're going to sell this. And then the order ticket's going to look different. So let's scroll back up and look at the order ticket here. It says short put. And you can see here it has a negative sign by the 61 cents instead of a positive sign. It's because we're collecting premium. That's the best part. Then we're going to hit continue. Also is your expected profit and loss graph on every one below. You can see your max profit, your max loss if SoFi went to 0, which I don't think is happening. And this would be the break even, meaning if you got to sign the shares, this would be the price that you would get your shares for because you're collecting this. So we'll hit continue, and the order looks good. I'm not going to put the order through because I don't want to buy 100 shares of SoFi, but you get to see how to sell a put. That's the main point of this. Then the other topic is protective puts. So now, just so you know where protective puts would fit, if you already own 100 shares of the stock and you're nervous about the downside for a little while, you can buy a put underneath the current price as kind of insurance. If the stock price drops, that put can help you offset some of the loss of your shares. If the stock goes up nowhere, the put can expire worthless and you just lose the premium, just like an insurance policy you didn't end up needing. And that's why I sell them, is because I'm the one collecting that premium. We're not going deep into this today. I just want you to see where it lives and understand the basic idea. Let's quickly recap what you just saw. We started from the home or safety button, and we walked through bringing up the put side of the option chain. You watch me buy a put with defined risk and close it out. You saw where you would sell a cash secured put if you wanted to get paid while you wait to buy shares. And we looked at where protective put would sit if you already own 100 shares. The main idea is that you can always get back home, start over, and follow the same calm path. Why puts fit my calm trading style? Here's how these fit my own trading style. I use buying puts very selectively, as defined risk trades when I'm comfortable losing the full premium. I'm more interested in selling cash secured puts on stocks I'd be happy to own, as part of a slow, steady income approach. Protective puts are just one more tool for managing risk when I want insurance on a position. Everything has to fit a calm, patient, long-term path, not fast excitement. If you have any questions about buying puts, selling cash secured puts, or protective puts, go ahead and leave a comment below. I read every comment. I'm happy to help you stay calm and confident as you learn this. In the next episode, we'll start looking at spreads, ways to combine options to create defined risk trades on both calls and the put side. Before we wrap up, let's take a short moment of calm. Today we talked about puts, protection, and risk. It's easy, especially with options, to let our imagination run wild with worst case scenarios. I want to leave you with a reminder from the Stoic philosopher Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality.